Hello again. This video I'm going to show you how to make kind of a watercolored background around your stamp images with Copics. I have been promising this video for a year and a half and I'm finally shooting it. I apologize for that again. I really don't like to hear myself on videos. I like to teach, but I don't necessarily like to listen to myself. So I've procrastinated long enough. I'm going to show you how to do this. When I talk about watercolor backgrounds, if you come from any kind of painting background, especially watercoloring, it's almost a dabbing, Monet-like spotting behind your image, around your image. This is a card I did using a stamp by Carmen Medlin for Susanna's Custom Art and Card Design. I wanted her to be in a night sky look, so I had done the darker colors. This is another one. This is an Elizabeth Bella image from Susanna's Custom Art and Card Design, and I had done a much lighter. I don't even know if you can see it real well here, but it has a very soft pastel watercolor background. There's many ways you can do this, many colors you can use. This is the last video of 4 that I've done using this La La Land craft Marcy ballerina. We started with her skin in video 1. Video 2 was her dress and other blue accents. Video 3 was her hair. And now I'm going to do a bit of a background on her. I also want to say, when you're working on your image, you want to ground them. You don't necessarily always want them floating out in space. It doesn't look realistic. It doesn't have to be something major or bright. You don't want to detract from the main image, but you do want to do a little bit of grounding. My daughter used to dance ballet for many years until she gave it up at 12 to switch over to gymnastics, but she always danced on wood floors, so I'm going to give her a little bit of a wood floor as well to dance on. It's not very hard. It's the same flicking motion that I teach. It just goes across. That was E31 I used, and then I'm going to take some E50 and just kind of blend over it. If you want to be fancy and draw on a wood floor, go for it. I'm just going to give her a little bit of hardwood floors there to dance on. I'm just going to do one side of this image just so you can see what I'm talking about. You're going to be amazed at how easy this is. I don't have too many rules with it. There are a few. If you're using cool colors like this or the angel that I did here, fairy, use cool colors. So her dress is blue, it's a cool color, so then your background should be cool colors. You don't want to do so much color around her that you detract from the image. Here I was able to go very dark because her dress was cream with little hints of blue, so it really pops against a dark background. If I did a dark background on her because her dress is already dark, it may fade too much into the image and then I've lost the main part of the image. You want the background to be soft. It should just kind of lightly shadow around them. You can do as much as you want, as dark as you want, as light as you want. But that's my basic rule of thumb. I also pick colors that will go easily. So I'm doing cool colors. I'm going to use cool grays. So I'm going to use C00, C1, and maybe some little touches of C3. I always pull a color from my image. So I have blue here, so I'm going to pull B000 and B1 out into the background. And then I'm also going to pull a little bit of cream by using E50. And I'm going to show you how I do that. Closer towards the body is the darkest shadowing. And you basically, this is one time that I'm telling you can smush your marker onto your paper. One of the only times. And it's basically just a dotting motion. You want to vary your dots from big to little, but you want them closer together and darker closer to the body, because that's where the shadow is going to be the darkest. That was C3. I'm going to take C1. I'm going to keep going. You can go out as far as you want. It's really up to you. You hear my dog growling in the background. I apologize. Kids are starting to come home from school, so they have to announce themselves to the world. If you're a regular watcher of any of my videos, this is C00, by the way, before I get caught up. You know, my dogs can't stand to be ignored, so they like to insert themselves into the video. I apologize. Again, I'm just dotting. This does not hurt your nib. I'm not smushing really hard. Just dotting away. Now I'm using B_0. I want to bring a little bit of that blue out into my shadowing. Just a hint of it. I think when you add a little bit of the color from your image to your shadowing, it just melds everything together. It's also a watercoloring rule to work with a little bit of your image color in the background. And then a little bit of that cream, which is E50. Again, what colors you use is up to you. Try new things every time. Now I'm going to come in with C00. If you're using different warmer colors, you want to use W00. I do think these are awesome for blending. They just kind of, I'm just flicking out, just kind of meld everything together, make it soft. Make sure you're always pushing away from your image. You don't want to push the ink into your image. I'm going to go back with some C1. Just going to add some more spots to a few of these whiter areas. Again, I want it a little bit darker near her. And then taking my B, add just a little bit more blue right over that. And then the W00 again to blend outwards. And again, you could bring this as far away as you wanted. That's, I think, personal preference. I'm just going to do a little bit so you can see I'm not interested in doing my whole image. I would do all the way around her if it was me. But if you just wanted to stop and do one area of her, you could. And again, it's the C00 or the W00 that really pulls it all together. And that's how you do it. And that's how you do a watercolor background. You can make your dots as big as you want if you're more comfortable with something with larger instead of bigger, smaller dots. Again, you're the artist. Don't feel that you have to follow everything I do exactly. I always say take what I've taught you and tweak it, make it your own. That's what art is all about. And that's how I would do the background. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see. So you could do one side of her would be really pretty. It looks just kind of like there's a shadow on the wall behind her. Or you could do all the way around. It's really up to you at this point. So I told you it wasn't a very hard technique. If you follow just a few easy rules, pull one color out of her dress or the image, whatever it may be. So if you're using red, then you want to pull the lightest shade out. Usually if I'm doing a red, I'll use RV10 or R00. That brings just enough of the pink out. If you're using a warm color, then use warm colors out here. We used cool color, which was the blue, so I used the cool grays. They just work better together when you do that. And then, pull one extra color. I always pull something maybe from the hair or the skin tone, which was E50, just to give a little bit of variation to the grays and blues that I used. And again, C00 or W00 are really, I call them the magic pens for this. They really blend it out and make it soft. So that's it. That's the technique. I hope you'll give it a try. If you have any questions, you can always email me. And that's the end of this video series. I'll have a few more in the next couple weeks. Thanks for stopping by.